So the other day I was streaming and two different people donated me a lot of money or in gifted memberships. And so I said I would do a challenge suggested by both of them. And today this one comes from Dwayne. He said launchers only on World at War Riese. And the only launcher is the Panzerschrek. And also there's a launcher attached to the M1 Garand in the box, which I completely forgot about for my first couple attempts. So I finally remembered it, and those attempts were before this intro, where I played for like an hour and a half and could never get the Panzerschrek from the box, because when I do want the thing, it won't show up, but when I don't want it, I'll just get it 1,000 times, because that's just how the game always is with these challenges. And I gotta say, after playing this challenge for, I think in total, like maybe 5 to 6 hours, this is probably one of the worst experiences I have ever had making a challenge video. And because on PC, World at War on Steam at least doesn't support plugging in a controller, and I'm not good on keyboard and mouse, I was just going to play this on console, and I wouldn't have been able to live commentate it anyway, so playing on console was just probably going to be the move. However, that also means that I can't just like give myself the gun using mods or just a command. So me and the person who like commented this challenge agreed that I'm allowed to use the Bowie knife until I'm like able to get the gun from the box, because on those first attempts earlier, I didn't use that. I just used my pistol and my starting knife, and it was horrible. So for a while, it's pretty much just play the early rounds with a starting pistol knife, get the Bowie knife, then play to like round 10 hoping to get it. And usually if I didn't get the Panzerschrek or the M1 Garand with launcher by round 10, I would just restart, because I don't want to play the majority of the game just knifing, and also the Bowie knife isn't a one hit past round 10, so I'm probably just going to die anyway, so it's better to just restart and hope to get it the next game. And also, the person who commented it said I could use monkeys or special grenades, I guess like Molotovs as well, but Molotovs are kind of trash. So yeah, I was able to take monkeys, but I don't honestly think I ever used them, because I just forget that I have them, especially on World at War Riese, where most of the time when you're throwing a monkey on most maps, you're using it after you get right back up from a down, and obviously you can only take one down on this map, so I barely ever use them. And this is at the point where I was already starting to realize how insanely like annoying this challenge was already being, with me, no joke, being maybe 2.5 hours into endlessly attempting going to round 10 and stuff, and not having gotten the Panzerschrek or the M1 Garand yet. Literally spam restarting every time I get to round 10, 2.5 hours straight, and had not gotten either of the gun. I hadn't even been able to start the challenge yet, 2.5 hours in. So that was pretty annoying. Until finally, right here, I get the M1 Garand with launcher, and you can just see from me just spam knifing like that, I was very happy to finally get a gun I can use. Obviously, I'm not allowed to use the regular gun part of it, only the launcher, which really isn't good, but it does have 21 shots, which is a lot more than I remembered it having. So that's at least good, and max ammos do refill the launcher as well, which for World at War standards, considering how many different little bugs this game has, that's honestly pretty surprising that it refills that, so I was pretty happy to see that. And then I got monkeys a little bit later. I don't really use them, but I mean, still, they're nice to have. And now it's time to talk about the kryptonite of pretty much every World at War Riese challenge, the dogs. So the dog rounds usually don't mess me up too bad. It's usually the mid-round dogs, but for this, even the dog rounds would become a lot more of a problem than you'd expect, because this thing was already two-hitting the dogs, it seemed, unless I could like maybe direct impact them, but a lot of the time I'm not able to direct impact them without hitting myself, because pretty much every explosive in World at War has a huge radius, and I don't want to hit myself with it and then die. But I got through the first dog round by only using the launcher fine, but believe me, later on, I ended up having to just make the executive decision that I have to Bowie knife the dogs, because I figured out later on that the Panzerschrek Pack-a-Punch was 3 hitting dogs on like round 15 or something, and there's absolutely no way that I was going to die to dogs after spending like hours and hours trying to get a gun. It's just not going to happen, so later on I decided to just Bowie knife the dogs. You can already see me here struggling to get through this dog round on round 11 with the Garand, with the launcher, and if you're wondering why I wasn't pack punching it, First of all, it's because I wasn't getting that many points with it, and I don't think I had any of the teleporters linked yet, so I still needed more points to open the doors to link them all in Pack Punch. And I also wasn't sure if Pack Punching it actually made the launcher any better or just the regular gun. So I was going to hold off and just try to keep spinning the box every now and then to get the Panzerschrek, but keep at least like 5,000 to Pack Punch it if I need to, because I assumed Pack Punching it would refill the ammo in the launcher at least if it didn't make it stronger. But with using explosive weapons, at least there's the plus side of them being very good on insta-kills because, I mean, they have splash damage and can kill a lot of zombies per shot. The only downside is they're not that great for pretty much everything else, but I mean, they're good on insta-kills. Yay. I mean, pretty much everything's good on insta-kills, but like, these things are extra good. That makes them usable, I guess. But in all seriousness, since I had such low expectations for the launcher on the M1 Garand, it actually managed to exceed them because it wasn't entirely a piece of crap. It could I think 2 to 3 shot a horde on round 14, which really isn't good, but it was better than what I expected. So I was kind of happy with it. And I was on round 14 just kind of training around wherever, getting through the rounds with it. And it wasn't going too bad, although I still couldn't get the Panzerschrek, and I was spinning the box a decent little bit. And honestly, the launcher on the M1 Garand is actually better at killing dogs than the Panzerschrek will be, as you'll see later, because with the Panzerschrek, you're actually forced to ADS to shoot, whereas with this, I can kind of just flick around and shoot it and hope to not die, whereas the Panzerschrek, I would have to try to get some distance between me and the dogs, turn around and ADS and shoot. So this thing actually is better for the dogs, but neither of them are that good. The Bowie knife is just better for killing dogs than either of these things. But what's truly worse than both of those is my skill level, where I tried to jump over these crawlers instead of running back and then got myself killed on 17, still without the Panzerschrek, and still just horrible, because now I was going to have to redo all of that and just hope to get one of these guns, and that was much easier said than done. And it may look right there like I'm just so happy to get this thing on the first box hit, but that actually didn't happen until about 3, maybe 3.5 hours into attempting this. 3.5 hours in, I finally got my first Panzerschrek. Why? And on top of that, I was even disappointed with it when I got it, because I forgot how slow you are with it. I know that when you pack punched it, you would get faster, but oh my lord, you're slow with this thing, and you have to ADS to shoot it. But it doesn't get better from here, because this is where the truly painful part of this video comes in. So this clip right here, I'm on round 9, and when this clip ends, you'll see that it goes straight to round 20, because I decided, you know what, let's use the capture card and just record those rounds. But no, somehow, when I did that, it didn't record any of those rounds, so pretty much the interesting parts of this game from round 10 to 20 just didn't exist. So I had to then, after this game, play it again and hope to get these guns after 3 hours of spinning the box and not getting them. This was just actually painful. I still don't know how that recording got lost, but it did somehow. And I was infuriated. So I'm paused right here, just letting the reality sink in that all of that got lost. And it may seem like, oh, it's just around 10 to 20. That probably didn't take that long. That did take a while, because you have to remember, my guns suck. So there was multiple clutch moments and stuff that I wanted to show, but they were just completely gone. So I was very, very mad about that. And I was like, you know what, I'll just try to clutch up and get to round 30 or 35, which I did not expect me to be able to do for this challenge. And then that would be enough gameplay for me to just not have to do this again, because I was actually going insane with the terrible, terrible box luck I was getting. And I was still spinning for the M1 Garand with launcher, because I wanted it. I wanted to have both of them, but I was just not getting the luck I needed at all. Until finally, right here, I get the M1 Garand with launcher, and I was ready to just play my absolute heart out. Literally, the zombie bled out as soon as I got it too. It was just perfect timing for me to be able to just go as far as I can. Except as soon as I started training, a zombie ran through the doorway at the worst time, and I literally died as soon as I got the gun, and I wanted to put my head through the wall because I had literally spent like maybe over 4 hours easily now, basically playing Box Simulator to get 2 horrible guns, just to die as soon as I had both of them. On top of the recording getting lost like that, I was just ready to flip out. So I just took a break and told myself I would give it a little like more, and I would do one more attempt where I at least get the guns. I have to at least get the guns and play with them again before I was gonna let myself quit, because I think in all that time I definitely only gotten one Panzerschrek and literally like 2 M1 Garands until just now. This clip you're seeing, these guns were so rare. And I feel like when I play normally, I get them every 10 seconds. But for this, they were so rare. Like, it was ridiculous until this game, which was after that break. I think I played for like an hour until this game where I got that launcher. And then right here, I get the Panzerschrek. So I got both of them by round 6 after all of this horrible luck. I was so happy, and I was very much hoping for like at least around 25 this game. But on top of me using horrible guns, I'm also really not good at specifically World at War Riese. I barely ever play it other than challenge videos, and my highest round now is 63, but I was running a very easy trap strat, and obviously I can't run a trap strat in this because I'm not even able to use traps, and I would run out of points pretty much instantly because I'm only using explosives. So around 25 for this would be insanely good for me, at least, because I'm just really not good at this map. It's definitely the World of War map I've played the least, and honestly, it's probably one of my least played maps from like World of War to BO2. But I mean, the Pack-a-Punch Panzerschrek isn't bad. Like, it's not bad, but it's just so impractical that you'd really never use it. Like, once you Pack-Punch it, you can actually run like a good speed with it. It's mainly just the ADSing before you shoot it, and it's insanely large, like, splash damage radius. It's like, oh my gosh, you can shoot this thing like all the way like 50 feet from you, and it'll still hit you every time. I don't get it. It's like its splash radius is actually just ridiculous. That and it like having the ADS before you shoot are the 2 main reasons why it's like not that great. But I was still really happy to finally have it and finally be able to just get far and to not have to spin the box anymore. And all I had to do was just not throw. And so, of course, I threw, as I always do. And I was not redoing this. Absolutely not. There was no way I was spinning the box for hours again to try to get these guns. I was just done. So maybe at some point on a stream, I might like give this an attempt or 2 and just see if I can get good luck. But this has driven me insane. The box luck is just actually horrific. I don't know how these guns were so rare for me to get, but I could just not get them for the life of me. So I was done. Round 21 was the highest I was going to get, and I was fine with that. Doesn't matter. Round 20 was actually going to be my original goal, but once I got to it, I thought I could get farther, and now I don't think I can get farther, and I don't want to get farther. Those guns are the bane of my existence. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and next video should be Die Rise Trample Steam only, which hopefully will go a little better than this did.